Communication in the Workplace by Philip Nicole, Jessica Pickle, and Tim Yip. You are following along in the textbook. The Communication in the Workplace section starts on page 43.
It is easy to see that the skills that allow a person who communicates effectively would not only improve their personal relationships, but also the ones on a professional level as well. A lot of the concepts we have covered in Chapter 1, such as communication as a means of satisfying various needs, or the characteristics of a competent communicator, we learned all the theory so that we can apply to real-life situations, so that we are, as the highlighted reads, prepared for professional relationships in the complex environment of the healthcare community. Needless to say, communication is very important in the workplace. I wish to show just two examples. The picture on the left shows the large investment many companies and employers make to train their colleagues in effective communication tactics and skills. In the healthcare setting, this training is even more important because the service is not performed by one person, but by an entire team that needs to work together. The picture on the right shows the results of an experimental study done at a hospital to quantify the benefits of communication training. They used several markers, such as the number of cases the hospital was able to take, or the percentage of cases where antibiotics was given within a certain time frame after incision. The light purple bar shows the result before the training, and the dark purple one showed their improvement afterwards. In addition to enhancing the team's performance, communication is also important in preventing conflict. Let us consider a person who adopted all the communication misconceptions and was, let's say, a very ineffectual communicator and had a very quantitative view of his or her colleagues. This will not only negatively affect the overall performance of the team, but more importantly, it may also be the source of a lot of otherwise unnecessary conflict. To visualize how much conflict can potentially set the team back, we must first understand its sources.
Every time we speak, we relate two dimensions of messages: the content message and the relational message. The content message refers to the subject matter you are discussing. They are much more obvious than the relational messages because they are just the words that we speak. For example, "Can you hand me that file?" is a content message simply because it contains words. The relational message refers to the relationship between you and the person you are communicating with, and your feelings towards each other. These are less obvious because they are usually nonverbal, and the spoken words don't really have anything to do with it. An example of a relational message is the following. This is Nurse Jackie, and this is her best friend and fellow nurse, Kim. If Jackie needed to ask Kim something, she may say, "Hey Kim, can you pass me that file?" But if Nurse Ashley, who is not friends with Kim, asks her the same thing, she may say, "Kimberly, can you pass me that file?" There's clearly a difference with how each person talks to Kim, because they both have a different relationship with her and different feelings towards her.
Noise is a major issue in workplace communication. To fully understand this concept, please turn to page 11 and follow along. Noise can be classified into three different categories: physical, physiological, and psychological. Physical noise can also be called external noise. It is based on external factors that lead to compromised communication. This can be loud music, use of machinery, or anything to distract communication. Another example of physical noise is the language barrier. This can be caused by an accent or not being familiar with the language being spoken. Another is smoking because it can be hard to pay attention. Physiological noise is caused by biological factors like illness or fatigue. If you ever had a really bad cold, usually you cannot fully focus on the information that is being communicated to you. Psychological noise. This refers to the forces that are happening during communication. If the person communicating feels embarrassed or uncomfortable in the situation, then this can lead to miscommunication because the person listening will not be fully focused on the conversation. Thank you for listening.